Atomic Suicide by Walter Russell. Chapter 1. What is atomic energy? In answering this question, let it be ever remembered that God is love, and that this universe is founded upon love. Every action and its reaction in nature must be in balance with each other in order to carry out the purposeful intent of the Creator. Love expressed by action means balanced fulfillment of its own law of equal giving and regiving. That is the principle upon which this purposeful universe is founded. That which purposefully fulfills the law is good. It will endure and be eternally repeated with more of that which man calls good. Every action of man, likewise, which is founded upon love, is a fulfillment of the law and is good, and will be eternally repeated. Our action in answering this momentous question is founded upon love for the good of man. If it is purposeful, it will bring good into the world for endless repetition, which is nature's way of working. If it is not balanced and orderly in nature's way of normal growth of her idea, then that moment of its departure from the good will bring about its own dissolution. That is also nature's way of dissolving that which is unrhythmic and purposeless in the fulfilling of her one law. What is atomic energy? What is this great power which is now to be used for the betterment of life? That is the question which the whole world wants to know. It wants to know because there is great fear in the heart of man that it should not be used, but he doesn't know why. The only way he can know why radioactivity should not be used is to know what radioactivity is and what it will do. We will briefly state what it is and what it can do in one short paragraph. We will then expand that one paragraph into this whole book, for the purpose of giving you full comprehension of its meaning. When you read that one paragraph which now follows, bear in mind the fact that the supreme effort of humanity is to learn how to live long lives in full strength and repeat them down through endless centuries. Radiation is the normal death principle. Everything in nature dies normally by slowly radiating its heat. Radioactivity is the explosively quick death principle. Radioactivity is man's discovery of how the human race can die quickly and not be able to propagate its kind for many long centuries. There is your complete answer in a few words. Multiplied death is the new boon which this age of man believes he is giving to the furtherance of life. Naturally, you do not understand it, but instinct and intuition in you are strong enough to make you fear it. The reason you do not understand it is because you are not yet aware of what makes things live and what makes them die. The entire answer to this supreme question lies in knowing exactly what makes bodies live and what makes bodies die. This cannot be briefly told. In telling it, we must tell you how God constructs and dissolves matter electrically. If answered briefly, you would not comprehend it. The greatest minds among men have been trying to discover this life principle for centuries. When we do fully answer it for you and all mankind, you will also fully comprehend your universe and all of its mysteries. The telling must be a step-by-step process, however, and must keep in mind the purpose of this book, which is to dynamically explain in convincing language the undebatable postulates, and the price man will pay for the use of atomic energy is his own inevitable extinction. Nature has a tremendously balanced rhythmic normalcy in her orderly processes of creation. It is all of it good for man and animal alike when they observe that normalcy. When they defy it or violate it through ignorance of it, nature does not punish them for that violation. Ignorance punishes them. The discovery of atomic energy as a means of obtaining greater heat than an ordinarily normal way suitable to environment is as much a breach of nature's orderly processes as it would be if a man violated the law of gravity by discovering that he could get to the bottom of the canyon in a much quicker than normal way. No man would do that because he knows better. Atomic energy for industry is as great a violation of nature's way as a defiance of gravity would be, and it is as sure death for the violator of one as of the other. We know that man is not intentionally defying God's law. There is but one reason why he is doing it, which is that he does not know what he is doing. The law works just as irrevocably and inevitably, however, against him who defies it as it does for the one who does not know. Man admittedly does not know what he is doing. For long ages he has sought for the life principle in germ or ultimate unit of matter. He has never found it there and never will. Likewise he has sought for the principle of death. This he has now found, but he does not know it. Do you know why you live and how you keep alive? Do you know why you die and how you die? Do you know where you go when you die, or what happens to your identity after death? No, you do not yet know these things. Mankind has not yet unfolded far enough spiritually to know of his eternal identity, or to know that he cannot die. The complete argument of this story is based upon the fact that mankind does not know what is either life or death is, nor that the plan that he is now making is assisting nature in her death process by helping you to die instead of to live. That plan is contrary to nature's law of love. We shall tell you all you have wondered about regarding life, death, and immortality, so that you will comprehend the magnitude of the crime of man against man, which man has now decided to perpetrate. Man does not yet know his universe, nor how it became, nor how it disappears into space and reappears. There is a universal process in creation and a motivating force for the energy which creates it. That same process applies as equally to the creation of life and its disappearance in life in your body as it does to the whole universe. Do you know what that process is? Do you know what your universe is and God's relation to it and to you? Do you not think that you could live more powerfully and wisely if you did know these things? We feel certain that when statesmen and leaders in industry know these things, they will know they cannot use the death principle to aid life. Every forthcoming page of this book will deal with the principle of life and death of the body of man and of God's body, the universe of motion. It will likewise deal with the immortality of man and of its mind control over his orderly and normal life and death processes. It will also clearly explain that long-answered question, where do I go when I die? During this explanation of the two ways of life and death, which will be clearly set forth herein, you cannot fail to see that man's illegitimate use of death to benefit life will only but multiply death upon this planet until not one grass blade will be left on it. These statements present a dread picture. They seem unbelievable and impossible. It is our responsibility to prove to you that they are not only possible but inevitable. The only way we can possibly do that is to now make those things known about life, death, and immortality which have never yet been known. Chapter 2, coming soon.